father. We ready to go? Look at us. Welcome into the TWMP Daily, where we're discussing who Kelton's biological father is. Joined by Jake Croson here. Thank you so much, Jake, for making the time.
Happy to be here and to discuss Kelton's parentage.
No doubt. So, big announcement time. We'll get right to it. We had two big announcements. Then I figure we're going to take your questions. You can text me 573. If you DM'd me, just text me. I'm not good with any of that stuff. 573-429-5770. Big announcement. Statesman of the Year.
Yep.
I don't know how the pronoun thing, but Statesman of the Year, the big announcement is going to be February 25th at Missouri Farm Bureau. Our state's Woman of the Year, for the second year in a row, it's a woman, is Chief Justice Mary Rose Russell. We're very grateful to her. It is...
extremely fitting.
Yes. One of the absolute best people you're ever going to find in politics. Somebody that I think is universally respected. I think she's outstanding, and I think this is an easy choice to make.
Yep.
She's given a lot of her life to the state of Missouri in public service, and she'll be our state's Woman of the Year. Also, big announcement. Kelton. Do we have a drum roll on that thing?
I can just pat my hands.
All right. Well, Pat, you do both of them so it looks cool. I mean, that doesn't... Yeah. There we go. I'll go. Starting Monday, a week from today, February the 10th, we will have a new show. You've seen the TWMP Daily logo, how awesome that looks. Now you're going to get to see the TWMP Daily. On Mondays, we will have Jake Croson will be hosting. How about that?
It'll be a lot of fun. I've got some good guests coming up.
You do? Like, really?
Yep.
Like who?
I can't tell you.
Ah, I like a little cloak and dagger.
It's Kelton's real parents.
Like James Earl Jones walked in the room, that'd be awesome. That'd be epic. Well, I'm very excited. So I'll still be coming to you Tuesday and Wednesday, one of the two, maybe both sometimes. But Jake's going to be coming to you on Mondays. We do Monday or Thursday. We'll just make the decision in the room here.
Yeah, I'm fine with either. I think if people want to stay sleeping on Mondays, then I will host Monday.
I almost think Thursday would be a good recap day.
Yeah.
This is me about to get him to do two. One Monday and one Thursday. I'll take the hump day, middle of the week, and then I'll do Tuesday. But I'm excited. I think you have a different perspective. You've got a lot of connections, especially at the staff level that I don't have, and you hear some stuff I don't hear. If you want to subscribe to the Whispering Gallery, Jake and myself put out every morning, you can email jake@missouritimes.com. If you have a question for me, text me 573-429-5770. The first one, I already have one. Look at this. All right, I'm not going to get... I'll tell you what. If the question's salty, I'll just give your hometown, not your name. How about that? 429-5770. Text me whatever questions you have. This question is there any hope for the Department of Insurance? Yes. Mm-hmm. I think there is. I think, look, Kehoe has said, we're not doing this anymore. Period. Yep. Done. Over. Here's the thing about Kehoe. I was asked this today about school choice. I was asking about the state party election. Mm-hmm. Look, when Mike Kehoe, he wins. Mike Kehoe is a winner. He's just a winner. I can understand because every time there's a winner, if it's worth a damn, there's a loser. Yep. And I get it. If you've been on the other side of Kehoe, you probably have lost, and you're probably pissed. And I'm the most petty person that's ever lived on any planet, anywhere. Kehoe's good. But here's the thing. If you like school choice, Kehoe honestly was your best guy to get school choice. I'm just being honest. Yep. I got my University of Missouri mug from my buddy Sean. I thought Judge Russell, University of Missouri alumni.
Okay.
So this is Diet Coke. It's not Guinness because I'm not Irish and it doesn't suck. I don't think I could drink a full glass of Guinness. That's what they give to hostages and shit. So anyhow, so here's the deal. Just the straight shoot. Kehoe has said we're stopping this. The new director, from all accounts, especially a guy I really do respect as a friend of hers. By all accounts, Angela Nelson, Angie, I'm not sure which one, is quality person.
Yeah.
I think she wants to work for Mike Kehoe. I think she thinks it's an honor to get to work for Mike Kehoe. I would agree with her. I think being asked by this governor to serve the state would be a very special honor. Now, here's the deal. This is a results-oriented business. It's so that I'll give you this analogy. Is there hope for the Department of Insurance? Yes. I think it's got a chance to be a new day. I'll give you my analysis as follows. The St. Louis Cardinals, right? The crown jewel of the National League, the apple of Jesus' eye, the greatest organization in the history of organized sport. Back to the Athenians in the first Olympics, their aspiration came to fruition during Game 6 in 2011. They said they were going to do a reset, right? They're going to change how this isn't working, we're changing it.
Yep.
Very similar to how Kehoe said, this isn't working, we're changing it. So the St. Louis Cardinals, Jake, do you know how many players they've traded off the roster that they're going to change things?
I'm afraid I don't.
It's somewhere between none and not a damn one. So the Cardinals said they're doing a reset, right? They're going to change things up. Mike Kehoe said, I'm doing a reset, I'm going to change things up. The Cardinals have traded no one. It's the same team. There's no difference in the team. I mean, literally, the only people that left whose contracts were up, there's three people that are gone. That's it. That's the whole change. The entire reset was 3 people who were leaving anyway. So if insurance keeps rehagging, you know.
Well, Mary Elizabeth Coleman will hold them accountable for that.
We'll see. I will tell you this. This is what I do think. I think her reputation is so strong. I think Mike Kehoe is so well respected that Miss Nelson will get confirmed. But I'll tell you this. This is what I honestly do think. I think there's been too many attacks on rural Missouri. I think the DEI, Marxist, leftist stuff has went too far with Rehagen. I think wherever, if you want to keep Rehagen, you can't say that's best for the department.
Yeah.
That's just not.
No.
I think last time his budget was do you know the Department of Insurance budget was cut $139,945.09 last time. Cut. In a year where they had all kinds of money. Do you know why?
Why?
It was the exact salary of John Rehagen. Because if you cut the FTE, you can't hire anybody. And so it's almost a little bit over the top. Like the department you would thought would have got the hint. If they didn't get the hint, I mean, I assume Miss Nelson gets confirmed in February, right? Starts in March. She has 2 full months before the state budget comes out. In those 2 full months, if she hasn't found a place for Rehagen out of the department, I just think they'll cut the FTE, right?
Yeah.
And then if the wars continue on rural Missouri, cut another one, and another one, and the scrutiny will continue. I actually believe, so Lincoln Day is the first weekend in March. I don't think it'll be by then. I believe I'll be doing radio in April. And this is just, here's my white trash, Kelton, can we do it again? My white trash prediction, simple hillbilly prediction is this, straight out of my stein of knowledge. I personally believe in Mike Kehoe. I personally believe in Miss Nelson. I can't say that I know her personally, but enough people that I respect have said glowing things about her. You get a sense for this. I have this sizable gut that I use to make these determinations. My prediction is I'll be doing radio by the end of April, and we will be talking about a cleaned-up department. I don't think it's going to be hard. 99% of the people there just want to do their jobs.
Yeah.
They just want to do their jobs and go home. It's not about some petty vendetta. It's not about some Marxist bullshit. They just want to do their jobs. And when you have a leader who actually shows up to work first thing, who actually lives in Missouri, whoever ever thought that'd be important?
We're reaching new standards.
Yeah. I think the cleanup will be simple. And I also think that everyone is set to where if there's not a cleanup, then Katie barred the door.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Mike Kehoe could convince people. It's similar like John Mazalak and Bill DeWitt are trying to convince you there's a reset. There's no reset. The same people. It's the same people. The exact same players. I don't think that you can. I couldn't convince. I wouldn't look at you in the eye and say there's a reset of the department if you keep the same people.
Yeah.
I'd look like John Mazalak, which nobody wants to look like right now. So I do think that there's a I think she's the best person for this job. I think she'll probably be confirmed. I can't imagine. I know some people are already saying, "Okay, what are you doing about this?" Because I mean, that's what they ran on, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll see. My prediction is this: by I'll go May Day, because John Rehagen's probably favorite holiday, if I had to guess. By May Day, I'll say this problem is fixed. And it might be one of these things where, like, Mike Parson never really wanted to fire Clora Lindley Myers because she's a lady and he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
But you'll know, right? These things are trust, even for the public, they're best happen behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. I would say on May Day, this will be the first year in 8 years they haven't had a big party on May 1st over there, the Department of Insurance. I don't think Miss Nelson will let them have the traditional John Rehagen May Day party. They won't have the pole and the red thing, the red flags. This year they'll have red MAGA hats.
Will they have a retirement cake, though?
Look, if they don't, you're not going to convince anybody that anything's different. It'll be because I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
It's like the Cardinals are going to suck this year with the exact same people that sucked last year. Mm-hmm. I think Angie Nelson, I've heard people call her both. Again, I've met her, but I don't want to pretend like I know her super well.
Yeah.
By reputation, I think she fixes the problem. Mayday. I think it'll take Mayday. I mean, I don't even know if she's up for getting confirmed. The text line's 573-429-5770. Had a request for the text line from a man. But I think by Mayday, either she'll just fix the problem like Trump, or it's going to take a minute. But I think by Mayday, everybody involved will know what's up and what's going to happen and be comfortable with it, right?
Yep.
And if not, all right, Kelton, get your magnifying glass back out.
I'm ready.
I haven't heard there's something about databases over there. Some squirrel. Are they keeping some data? Have they been sharing some databases? I don't know.
I've been keeping my eye on things.
I don't know, Kelton. I mean, if John Rehagen is there on May 2nd, I may need you to ask some database questions. I don't look. What happened to the last person whose ass you got up? But, let's not even talk about it. Let's talk about something else. There's no reason to get into all that. Right? Let's another question here. How is Kehoe doing? Well, I heard him speak today.
Yeah.
He's actually got a bit of a cold, he said, but I honestly couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I'd tell you this. Shout out to the co-ops. What a great...
It was a great day for it, too.
Record number of folks from co-ops. You want to know the salt of the earth in this state. You want to know the real good old boys, the good folks of this state. Find you a co-op. And co-op board member. That is what the good old boys of this... That is the folks that built this state. So if you love Missouri like I do, thank a co-op board member. And if you don't... Might I suggest Illinois? What great folks. Yeah. Kehoe spoke, did a great job. I didn't even know he had a cold. He said, but I'll tell you, the most amazing thing, the greatest feat of sound engineering I've ever seen in my life, except for Kelton somehow getting the show on the air. I go to the mill bottom, and I could actually hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
Shocked.
It was really good.
But look, you know why we don't have events there? Because one, I like having them at like Farm Bureau where we're going to have this. And it'll have the Women Legislators annual scholarship auction. I love all of it, right? But soybean is just well-suited for that. That room is kind of intimate, and I like the back, open up the hatch. But look, let me just tell you. I had to quit having events there because you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Even Will West, my man, we just could never get people to hear anything. So I just, but today, somehow the co-ops, I wish I would have got the card for those people.
Yeah.
The food was great. Whatever the chicken thing was, or the ham thing wrapped in some kind of cheese thing, outstanding. And two, you could actually hear what people were saying at the mill bottom. Mm-hmm. First time ever. So you can tell me who you're having on the show Monday?
I just can't tell you. If I'm really pulling, I might ask Jeff Knight.
Oh, so that's your backup?
That's my backup.
You don't get the good guest you're wanting.
It's Jeff Knight.
Jeff spoke. I don't know if he won an award. Did he win an award?
I don't know if they said he won a previous award or if he won an award this
I was in
year.
Branson when he got the
I think they were talking about when he got the last one.
I thought Ben Baker was getting an award.
Yeah, I didn't see him. I just saw Treasurer Malik and Governor Kehoe there.
Treasurer.
The co-op people are so
Treasurer-
great that
what-
Treasurer Malik
what
was
is his
wanting to
name
give them
again?
money.
What's his name again, Jake?
Vivek?
Is it Vivek?
I've always either heard Vivek or Vivek. You could probably go either
Yeah,
one.
I don't know which one though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's actually. I think I've said it wrong. I think it's Vivek.
Vivek. Okay. Yeah.
I actually think that's what it is.
I think that's. About
I think
right,
he's
yeah.
a gentleman, and if you call him Vivek, he doesn't say anything. And I guess I think I've been saying it wrong. I think it's Vivek.
I think that. Yeah. I think that sounds more right now. I'm gonna correct myself from now
You
on.
screwed it up. That was actually a question I got on a previous one that I didn't ask was which one, and I think it's Vivek. But if you either way, not a better gentleman in the world.
No.
How dope was it? He shows up. I gotta tell my man Garrett something. He shows up, and Vivek had found unclaimed property. The co-ops had like 9 co-ops had unclaimed property to go pick up. So I mean, I thought that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
that was a solid speech move.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it's the Great Northwest Days. Over, is it the Capitol Plaza?
I think so.
Man,
We'll find
Capitol
out
Plaza
here soon.
God, I mean, they just almost act pissed off that you're there. Like it's almost like going to the Truman Building. Everybody's just kind of sad and kind of angry. It's like the bus station from Total Recall. They all look like they want to just hurt you. I was in the Capitol Plaza last week for a great event for the corn growers. Oh, by the way, shout out if anybody's watching. I got to show. I'll show you on Wednesday what I bought. Oh, Wednesday we're having Holly Raider on here. I actually bought something at the corn grower event.
Did you get what you put?
Oh yeah. Kellen, we're getting an extension cord in here and an easel.
Yeah.
I'll get right on it.
I actually bought. I bid on. I might have had some help. I think I bid the first time, and someone might have bid me up a little.
Oh gosh.
But hey, you know what? For this item I got is so great. I don't even care. I should. I don't know how much I got hit for. I might care. There's a dollar figure where I'm like, okay, it's for a good cause. There's a dollar figure I'm like, nah, damn it, you know. So anyhow, yes, just to tell Garrett, it is February 25th. Question: what does Southwest Butler County think of the Department of Insurance and DEI? Southwest Butler County is not a fan. Southwest Butler County agrees with Donald Trump, Eric Schmidt, Ann Wagner, Jason Smith, Sam Graves, Bob Onder, Eric Burles, and Josh Hawley, John Patterson, Cindy O'Loughlin, Mike Kehoe, Andrew Bailey, David Wassinger, Denny Hoskins, Vivek Malik, Scott Fitzpatrick. They think that it should be a merit-based system. And I can't speak for Donald Trump or any of those others. I can only speak to myself as a Cardinal fan, and apparently from an interview I heard today, Jim Edmonds. The fact of the matter is, you can't do a reset or a retool with the same damn people.
Yep.
It's not credible. No one's going to buy it.
No.
So, you know.
If you shuffle some people around, it's not really a
Or in this
reset.
case, you don't shovel anybody. You just same shit.
Yeah. you just say, hey,
but I'll tell you, here's the concern. Here's the concern. I'm not the one that thinks DEI is the worst thing ever, right? I'm not going to tell you it's going to destroy state government. Do I think it's good? No, I honestly don't think that stuff's good. I think it makes things worse. I think it's more divisive. I think I don't think you could show me if you ask anybody that's kind of works in the racial sphere, right? Of calling essentially the jobs of calling people racist, or some days protecting people's rights who are truly getting screwed over on because of racial issues.
Yeah.
Whichever one you want to pick. They'll tell you it's worse than it's ever been. So you've been doing all this crap for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yep.
And things are worse.
Yeah.
So unless you're the St. Louis Cardinals, as things get consecutively worse, you stop doing it, right? But here's the thing. I just think it should be merit-based. The people of this state, and especially Southwest Butler County, overwhelmingly voted overwhelming majorities to stop this silliness. Here's the concern. The concern with departments like the Department of Insurance, are they on their P's and Q's now? Yeah. Do they have a terrific interim director? 100%. 100% terrific. Do they have a good director coming in? I think so. Plus, I have this working theory that if Mike Kehoe thinks something, he's probably smarter than me. So I do think if you talk to people, her reputation is outstanding. But this is this is the concern I think anybody really has about this. Will they stop doing it for a short period of time? Yeah, I think they probably will. Will the bureaucracy, once the legislature leaves in May, be like, I know what to do here. We're going to take the DEI and we're going to take out the E and make it an A, and it's going to be day. And that's what we're going to do. And I think that's the concern. And to me, if you leave the exact same people there, they'll just take the E and they'll just make it an A.
Yep.
And there you'll be. Or they'll take it'll be D and they'll go take that E and make it a BI or a PI, DPI. That's what'll happen. And it'll be the same stuff. And then Kelton's going to have to go back and do an investigation, and then people have to retire, quote unquote. And it'll just be a whole thing, right? Right, Kelton? Budgets will get cut.
I have a feeling it'll be very similar.
You mean if you keep the exact same people, you get the exact same results? Yeah, I think so. Somebody should write that to the Cardinals and be like, don't be the Department of Insurance.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly.
As a Royals fan, I'm so glad you finally have come around to the fact that your team isn't good. Because I've come around to that fact as well.
The standings came around to that fact. It has not reached the DeWitt's offices, I guess. I don't really know. And you know me, I'm not one to besmirch the president, but I mean, damn. Bill Eigel. How about this? I had a couple questions texted me about Bill.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. Bill running. And I don't know if he broke it, but the first place I heard about it was our boy John Combest's radio show.
Yeah, John texted me this morning and said, guess what I just broke?
And you should have said a pair of glasses? Your ankle? No, but I don't. So he broke the news.
Yeah,
okay, awesome.
They called him on air first, and talked to him about it.
I heard him. The first time I heard it was on a clip that John put up. Mm-hmm. So Brad and John broke the news of Bill Eigel running for St. Charles County Executive.
Yep.
Look, I'll tell you what. I think there's some folks that think because I have an admiration for Mike Kehoe, I have a hatred for Bill Eigel. This is not the case. And if you actually watch this show, you'll have heard me consistently say I think Bill Eigel's a good guy.
Yep.
I think Bill does preen for attention. He's a politician. They all do.
Yep.
Is what it is. You can be mad. You can not. Do I think Bill treated his colleagues that great? Nah. Sometimes he didn't. Do I think Bill's calling in life is to be part of a legislative body where he works with other people? No. Bill is an executive. He's a tall son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. He's just Bill Eigel is not a legislative kind of guy.
Yeah,
he is an executive, mm-hmm. And I've always said if he would have been floor leader in the Senate, let's say, even his last term, like Tony is right now, I think he would have took it seriously and done well.
Yeah,
I think if he's St. Charles County executive, he'll probably do a good job. Mm-hmm. I think if Bill's not in charge of something, there's an innate part of Bill, and this is true in a lot of leaders. If you're not leading, you're tearing the damn thing down so you can lead it.
Yeah,
and I think that was Bill's take in the Senate. I think his last term, when he knew he couldn't be in Senate leadership, he's going to tear the state down to be governor and lead it. And I think if he would have been governor, he would have tried to do a very good job. Mm-hmm. And I think if he becomes county executive, he will. Now, look, Mike Elam is the best person prepared to do this job. No question. He's put the time in and learning stuff. He's been on the county council for a long time.
Yep.
Jason Law, exciting politician. If $400,000 donation from Rayner, I mean, a big deal.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win this, write the name down, Jason Law. You're going to hear that name a bunch. No question in my mind. We're having what I consider a regal visitor to the Capitol starting tomorrow through Thursday. But what I was saying was I actually do believe very much that if Bill were to obtain an executive office, he would excel at it.
Yeah.
Now, look, is he going to – if he's St. Charles County executive, is he going to say a bunch of dumb stuff? Yeah, he will.
That's what they vote for in St. Charles.
What they like.
The real question is should we have
Does Bill
Mike,
know it's kind of silly? Yeah.
Should we have Mike and Bill on to ask them if they're going to fix the teeth problem in St. Charles?
I think it's beyond their grasp. I don't think they can do it. I think Mr. Colgate couldn't even touch that. But that's just me.
That is a concern of mine, and one of yours.
True. So, anyhow, that's my take on that race, is that Eigel starts off as a clear front runner.
Yeah.
Now here's the question: Elam has some connections to raise money. We need to look at. I don't know what he's raised in county council raising, and I was
looking at his main candidate account today, and I think he's got about, from his last report, he's got $18,000 in there. I was trying to see if he had a PAC somewhere. So
here's the deal. I don't really know, and I hate to admit this, I don't really know what's customary.
Yeah.
Like in St. Louis County executive race, it's about what you'd think. It's about $1 million, $2 million race sometimes. But the county council races, they spend nothing. They raise nothing. It is extremely low spend, and I don't know what the normal spend is for us. I mean,
that is,
and I don't know what he's raised. That's a piece of look. By the time we do this again by the time Jake does this Monday, I should say, he'll know the answer to that. I don't know what an average St. Charles County council race costs, and I don't know if he's raised above the norm there or not. He's going to have to raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jason Law. Here's the thing. My honest take on the race, to answer your question, is if Elam and Law and Eigel run, Eigel's the clear front runner.
Yeah. Do Law and Elam split their vote?
I think so.
I think.
Yeah. Eigel's the front runner against either one of them.
Yep.
But in a three-way race, I think it benefits Bill. Now, will there be some folks in St. Charles County, take a Steve Ellman, take a who, you fill in the blank, that gets Law and Elam in a room and says, look, only one of you can do this.
Yeah.
You're handing this to Eigel if one of you don't figure this out.
And it has to be the guy with the cash advantage, I would suspect.
Whenever that meeting takes place, if there is a person that walks out the candidate and I'm betting heavily whoever has the cash advantage, if they have a 20% cash advantage when they have this meeting, if they decide on something, it's probably that person.
Yeah.
Right now, that'd be Law.
Yeah.
By a significant figure.
Yeah.
I think, the good thing about having time is you have right about 13 months. So you could let this go into the summer and let Elam and Law go out there and raise and see what they can do. Do a little polling. See how strong Eigel is, which I think is be very strong. So the two questions are, Elam, that's kind of if they were dating, it'd be
their relationship
Eagle,
name,
illegal. Law and Elam, do they sit down and figure it out?
Yeah.
Only one of them run. Number two, Bill was his fundraising was extremely heavy in the trial attorney space.
Yeah.
I wonder, I don't know that trial attorneys care about St. Charles County Executive.
Yeah.
And then the second level would be, does Kehoe view that as poking the bear? Mm-hmm. They've already pissed Kehoe off.
Who in his State of the State called for substantial tort reform, which is a word you don't throw around.
I think that line might have been in the State of the State back in May. He had that ready to go. So I wonder, you also have to figure, okay, can Bill Eigel raise $500,000 from just people that like Bill Eigel? Yeah, I think so.
I think he could.
Can he raise $1 million? I think so. If the trial attorneys decided want to invest in this guy, there's no limit to what they can set.
Yeah, they definitely could.
Altman, I'll call you back. It sucks that Altman's not watching this week in Missouri, or the TWMP Daily, right? When Altman's texting me, he knows he's not watching. So, Jeff, honestly, I wish you'd be watching. And speaking of sponsors, we're going today to a reception at the Courtyard by Marriott, the finest place. Co-ops are the top class, top of the line.
They don't go to the Plaza. They go to Courtyard.
No, Capitol Plaza. God. Ugh. I think next time I'd like to go into the Overpass. The Courtyard by Marriott, the top hotel, the top place to have a meeting. You'd watch. Everybody there will be nice.
Yeah.
They'll be excited to see you. It'll be well lit. It'll just be nice. The food will be good. And we got to do this. My man Jim Bagley's in town. We have to name this the Jim Bagley Studio.
Okay.
Badgley could be the official. We put a sign up here with his name on. Oh, maybe when we redo the studio, we'll have a little.
That's another big announcement.
Yeah,
3 announcements today.
I'm a little worried though about announcing that because in case I get busy or drinking too much or something, and So anyhow, that's my take on it. Is there's 2 lingering questions here. I think Bill Eigel it takes effort. Don't ever think you just call people and they give you money. That's not real. With some effort, I think Bill can put without maximum effort. I think Bill, from just people that believe in Bill Eigel, can put together $500,000. I think with full effort he can raise $1 million. That's with only when I say trial attorney money, there's certain trial attorneys that like Bill Eigel personally, and will just write a check to him because they support him personally.
Yep.
Will they decide having a guy in Eigel still in the game is a good, being their main advocate is a good thing, and put extra money in?
Yeah.
I just don't see how in a 3-way with $1 million Eigel loses.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I see the more people added into the race benefits Eigel for sure.
And so, I'll tell you my unpopular opinion. If he wins it, he'll actually take it seriously and do a good job.
Yeah.
And he'll say stupid stuff on Facebook the whole time. There's no doubt. That's just par for the course. If you're gonna be a Republican, you're gonna need to say some dumb things on the internet. That's sorry, way it goes. But I think he'll actually do a good job. I think he'll take it seriously, and I think he'll be good to work with. Mm-hmm. Now, that county council, but that's what it's there for. Is you're supposed to be some tension. You should work together, but there should be some checks and balances. So, and if you have Elam on there, that'd be interesting, right? As your senior kind of ramrod guy, and Bill. So anyhow, I think it'll be interesting to watch Elam and Law. Keep an eye on their $5,000 reports, and keep an eye on do they do a deal, and then if Bill, the only way Bill doesn't raise a lot of quick money is he doesn't work it. If he puts effort into this, he will raise money.
Yeah.
I had several questions here about the. Several folks have asked. 4. Yep. Have asked me about the state party race. I'll tell you my opinion. Bill Eigel dodged a bullet. Bill Eigel.
It is a thankless job, and it's not very glamorous either.
Well, here's my take on it. This job is the job for a person like Peter Kinder, who has made his name, who's not particularly running for anything that I know of. I doubt Peter Kinder ever runs again for anything. I just, his age and his comfortability in life. Peter Kinder's an excellent speaker. He's been an excellent fundraiser. He has put the work in. He's paid his dues. I respect Peter Kinder. Mm-hmm. Now, Peter's funny and they got little quirks, but I have a high regard for Peter Kinder personally. Scott Faughn does. I think that regard is shared by most Republicans. I think even Bill Eigel, when he was running, was somewhat respectful of Peter Kinder and the sacrifice he's made for the party. I think he's got a great vice chair.
Yeah.
In Jennifer Bukowski. There was a home run selection. I think the two of them are going to succeed. But I go back to the question I brought up on the radio today. What does success look like? What do you want the state party to do?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer.
I don't know how much more you can do in a supermajority state, but I think Peter Kinder will find a way to find something to do.
I just think it's, the state party and their goals have changed, and depending on who the governor is and things. I guess my thing is I don't know what success looks like there.
Yeah.
So, will he be successful? He always has been.
Yeah.
But what does success actually look like? I think that's the question I would have. As far as Eigel, I'm going to tell you, this is a terrible job for him. Awful. I don't think Bill could have held back from attacking Kehoe, and I don't think Kehoe is going to raise him any money. And I think it's very hard to raise money for the state party. Donors want to give it to a candidate.
Yep.
They don't, and if the candidate isn't asking them to give to the party, they don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
And if the governor is at odds and you're taking shots at the governor, he's not only not going to ask people to give you money, probably, even if he never says it, donors are going to think, oh, they're anti-Kehoe, I'm not giving to them.
Yeah.
Whether anybody ever says, that's going to be the perception. I don't think Bill could have done that job and not attacked Kehoe.
Absolutely.
And I think if he took the job and attacked Kehoe and raised no money, it would have been an anchor on him. It would have been a very bad place for him to be.
Yeah.
And so I think Bill dodged a bullet. I think he's lucky he didn't win that race.
Yeah. I think in St. Charles he can sit there, and if he has a problem with something Kehoe does, he can voice it, and he won't negatively affect the party or negatively affect, some other races in the area. So I think being in St. Charles is where he should be.
Look, I think, depending on if you like Bill Eigel or not, if he'd have filed for lieutenant governor, he would have been, won, right?
Yeah.
So, and the Ann Wagner thing, look, you don't want to mess with Ann. You may think, oh, Bill should run against Ann. You don't want to mess with Ann. Miss Ann is not somebody to clown on. There's a reason people don't take her on. There's a reason serious people don't run against her. You don't want to mess with Miss Ann. That ain't no way to go through life, is having Ann Wagner pissed off at you.
Major win for her, too, being on the House Intelligence Committee. Like a very coveted spot she just got on this session. I think that's pretty awesome.
To me, we'll see, but there's a reason why all these other people have came up and been term limited and never taken her on, is because Miss Ann ain't nobody to clown on. Now, could I see Bill, in the middle of his term, deciding he may want to try that? I could see that.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, how the cards are dealt today on February, what is it, the 2nd, 3rd?
3rd.
Yeah. I think you could all see this decision coming by Bill. Now, you can't lose. Here's the thing. You lost the governor's race, but you overperformed.
Yeah.
So it almost came out good. It's like Sophie, who I admire a great deal. She's had some wins. Jill, whatever happened in Springfield, it looked like I felt like she won that. Mm-hmm. Then you run Bill's campaign, you lose, but you do very well.
Yeah.
I think you come out ahead. Then you get in the Sparks thing. That didn't turn out. Just scoreboard.
Yeah.
But if you're Bill, you lose the governor's race, but you overperform. You lose state party chair. If you lose St. Charles County Council or St. Charles County Executive, I think that's hard to get that donor to scratch another check, right?
Yeah.
Now, you didn't have to raise money for this state party thing, but if you go into this race and let's say Jason Law beats you, I'm not sure where you go from there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
But so if Bill's doing this, something he's gonna have to go all in and make sure he wins.
Yeah.
But if he wins, I could see him maybe. I could see him possibly running against Ann. Also, you can't forget the secretary of the Missouri Republican Party, the one and only, the legendary, the person we call the man in the northern part of the Lead Belt, Derek Good from Jefferson County, first in meth, last in math. Not Derek himself, the county. That is a title that is earned, not given, and that is not a title any one person can have. Speaking of, it's going to be an interesting Senate race down there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Eigel, Jim Avery's kicking around running.
Yeah.
Now, some of you will know Jim. Jim is a former legislator, House member from St. Charles County. Nixon put him on the Labor Commission, I think.
Yeah,
he went to the he ended up going to law school while he was there. Smart guy. Jim's a smart dude. Jim's
became
a
very successful trial attorney.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Jim's a good dude. I do think moving from St. Louis to there, right, might undercut one of the hits on Mary Elizabeth.
Definitely.
I think that is, if I'm her, I don't like Jim because Jim is a good politician. He successfully ran for office. Jim will be able to fundraise. Jim will be able to self-fund some, I assume. I don't know that, but I assume that.
Yeah.
But he does, moving from St. Louis to there might be helpful. Now, then you've got Renee Reuter, who's disgusted. I don't know. Ken Waller has kicked it around.
Has he?
Kelton, we got to get Ken in here for my jacket.
I'll get to him immediately.
Why don't you text him and just be like, tomorrow, why don't you come in and
I'll get right
We
on
got
it.
kind of a stacked day tomorrow, but we'll figure it out. Like 3 o'clock maybe. I think that'll work. But no, in all seriousness, I think it's interesting. I think if you're Mary Elizabeth, the more that run, like you're almost like Eigel.
Yeah.
The more that runs, the merrier.
Yep.
Number one, and especially the more men that file, the better.
Yep.
Now I've heard Renee, one of our tipsters, which we're very grateful for, is talking about running for judge.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be a good judge. She would. She really has a judicial temperament, maybe more so than a politician, if you think about it. By the way, shout out to Chad Perkins. It's I think the Republicans are getting serious. Let me tell you an interesting story. I think I can share this. If I can't, I'm sorry. I'll ask for forgiveness first. So we had Chad in here a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
On like a Wednesday, Thursday, something like that.
Yep.
After some big caucus meeting. So I asked Chad. I was like, Chad, Missouri Right to Life may have said some bad things about you. You probably aren't thrilled with them. If they come to your office, would you take the meeting? If they called you, would you pick up? He goes, yeah, absolutely. We have to do something about this. This is the Missouri Right to Life. This is how this state became the most pro-life state in the country. And this is the only way we leave being the most pro-choice jurisdiction on the planet. Mm-hmm. Missouri Right to Life came by his office Monday.
Did they really?
That next Monday.
That's awesome.
Now, if you're a donor to Missouri Right to Life, you should feel very good about that. If you're a pro-life person, you should feel very good about the leader of the largest pro-life organization in this state, who, let's be honest, they're at odds with a lot of the pro-life legislators.
Yep.
I don't know if she may have went by and saw everybody. She may have saw this interview. She may have heard about it. I can't tell you. Haven't spoke to Susan yet. But I'll tell you this. Chad Perkins is influential in the legislature. He won his leadership race by a good chunk. Chad's a mover and a shaker in that chamber. They have not said nice things about Chad. Chad has been a little chapped about that. Color Chad in with about, I'd say 80 Republican House members and probably 15, 18 Republican state senators and a governor. Pull them all in that loop, right? But the fact that they're going to his office to say, let's work on something, that is the best possible sign for the pro-life cause in this state.
Yeah.
And that is what leadership looks like. You may think, and I've probably thought this at times, leadership is giving a great speech or taking someone out. You know what leadership really is? And major credit to Susan Klein. Leadership is going to someone's office that you may have had a beef with and saying, I'm here on behalf of the cause. I know we agree on this. Can we work together?
Yep.
That's leadership. You know why Mike Kehoe will be more effective than Jay or Bill at being governor? He won't. Leadership really isn't getting on Facebook and calling people names.
Yeah.
Leadership is going to their office and convincing them to side with you. Just like he did on the at school choice bill last year. Just like I think he'll win on local control. I do. I just think Mike Kehoe, he won't get on the internet and say, Carla May sucks and I hate her and she's awful and she's goofy and terrible, bad haircut and all that stuff. No. He'll be in her office asking how they work together. What can I do for you to do this?
Yeah.
And that's why he's a winner. And I think by the same token, I think that's where that ends up. We got time for one more. Look, Wassinger's getting better at running the dice. Come on now. You're better than that. Jeez. The State of the Union thing was not great. But other than that, I mean, the rest of it'll wash out. When will there be bills? I think there's going to be a bill in the Senate this week.
Yeah.
They're going to put a bill on the floor this week. I'm going to walk over for long. Maybe they'll do it there. But it'll be good stuff. Good thing to have this week here in the Missouri State Senate. They'll start moving legislation now. What are the early things? I think it's clear there's a utility bill. I think they'll just run it out there.
Yeah.
There's in the Senate oftentimes a tactic, and I don't know specifics on this, but they'll just run a bill out and let the people that are going to be against it pop up, listen to their arguments. Then they kind of know what fires to go put out. I suspect there'll be some of that. Crime bill also, I think, could see some floor time this week or next week.
I feel like that's a bill they would want to kind of deal with early on to perfect it over time.
If you can.
Yeah.
If you could pass it early, it'd be a big win.
Yeah.
What do you think of the school? Okay. What do I think of the school thing? Look, I think this has been coming for a very long time. I think one side has the money, the vigor, the messaging, and they're up for the fight. I think the other side every day just wants to click their heels and ignore the school choice thing. I think the public school people just want to ignore that this even happened and just hope that the world changes.
Yeah.
I think the public school people, probably a lot of them voted for Kehoe, and the truth is Eigel and Ashcroft would have been better to deal with because they might have gotten mad and started attacking the legislature and what have you. I think with Mike Kehoe, look, right now, if Mike Kehoe sets his sights on you, show me the group that can beat him.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen them. I think school choice is coming. I think the public schools have no capacity to fight them off. They don't have the lobbyist stroke. They don't have the financial contribution stroke. They don't have the messaging stroke.
No.
And they've got St. Louis public schools wrapped around their neck.
Yeah.
Every time they try to make a move, St. Louis public schools is having some other landmine blow up, and
the school choice one always seems to be a more positive message. Like who could be against, helping kids from disadvantaged backgrounds get it to better schools? Like who could be against that? And the public schools kind of argue that too, but public schools, when they argue, it's like from what I've seen, it tends to be a little nasty.
Well, the truth is you have the charter school people fighting with memes and contributions and more powerful lobbying a lot of times. And the public schools, I mean, Columbia just isn't great.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not, the school is not that popular.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I say that, obviously their school board members are getting reelected, so maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think here's the best you can hope for in public education. School choice is coming. I think it's too late to stop it. You don't have the toughness in you to fight it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they don't. I think, though, the Governor Kehoe put together a blue ribbon panel. I'm going to tell you why there are blue ribbon panels. There's only two reasons there are blue ribbon panels. One is to bring people into the boat because you already know what you want to do anyway, and you want to bring them in and get them kind of on board. And they're better inside the tent pissing out than outside the tent pissing in. Or you just want this crew to rubber stamp what you're going to do anyway. Trust me, Mike Kehoe knows exactly what he wants to do with education. I think a blue ribbon commission is always a waste of time unless you want to bring some people in.
Yeah.
So he said he won't put people back on the state board that don't share his beliefs. I mean, the state board consists of Charlie Shields. Charlie Shields is Mr. Missouri Education. If Charlie is on board with this, then there's the goalie has been pulled. There's nothing. There's no defense. If Charlie is not and he replaces him, everybody respects Charlie Shields. Universally respected. What he says carries immense weight. So either way, if he's on board, I don't know what the defense is.
Yeah.
And if he's not on board and they remove him, well, his ability, he'll still have, I mean, he's still Charlie freaking Shields. He's still got a lot of respect. I mean, I have respect him immensely. I think most people do. But if you're not in that room, it's harder. Yeah. So that's the, here's the question. I think the thing that can be done is right now the foundation formula essentially takes a lot of money from St. Louis and spends it in outstate Missouri.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. Can rural Missouri demand whatever we get now per student from St. Louis? Can we demand we keep that?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say no. And our legislators have never been strong in rural Missouri to stand up against St. Louis. We bow to St. Louis every single time. The legislature is essentially it's St. Louis Board of Aldermen West is the Missouri General Assembly most of the time. All they care about is St. Louis. They're obsessed with it. Rural health care, like insurance plans for farmers, no. St. Louis, oh yeah, what can we do for St. It is.
Kansas City's the same way, so I'm in full.
They throw it for St. Louis. Yep. Their legislators drive over from Kansas City. They're at the football game Sundays making fun of St. Louis and the chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
They drive to Jeff City. Oh, what do you need? Yes, I for St. Louis. For St. Louis, I. No, I'm a no for St. Louis. Oh, switch that. I'm a yes. Whatever St. Louis needs, just do it. Take all the time you want, St. Louis. Everything's about you.
Yep.
Would a coalition of state senators stand up and say, you can do what you want with the vouchers? The vouchers are coming. They're here. Mm-hmm. It's over. The last year was the tipping point. It's over.
Yeah.
So whether you like that or not, I actually think we're to the point where, just do school choice. Just let people choose. I think that's the right move. I just think the decision on whether or not Missouri was going to be a school choice state or not is over. Mm. It ended last session. You broke the formula. It will not change. The truth is, whenever you broke the formula, this was and the smart people in the room knew this was busting the formula. Maybe the dumb ones didn't, but the smart ones knew. This is not. It's not like they looked at the books and goes, "Oh my God, this is we can't fund this." They knew what they were doing. Now the new formula, I think, to me, half measures and all that. It's time for school choice. It's here. It's the right move. However, in Doniphan, there's not going to be school choice. And there's not going to be choice in Alton. There's not going to be school choice in Thayer. Not going to be school choice in West Plains. Not going to be school choice in Willow Springs. Can their legislators hold the line and say, you're going to keep paying us this amount? And everybody in St. Louis can have school choice. And I think they should.
Yeah.
I mean, you're there. The serious conversation's over. It was had last year. Mm-hmm. And when they passed it, they passed it. So it's broke. You cannot, there's not enough money, no matter what you do, to fund the charter school commitments and the public school commitments. It's over. So if it's going to be a voucher system, can rural Missouri demand they get the same deal if they're going to change the formula? Will they stand up on the floor and say, I'm not for this unless we get the same amount of money? I've never seen rural Missouri's legislators care about rural Missouri more than St. Louis, ever. Maybe this is the first time. If I had to guess what'll happen, St. Louis will come in there and tell leadership this is what you're doing. And St. Louis people will tell the rural guys this is what you're doing. They'll say, yes, sir, may I have another? And that's the way it'll go. That's my two Stein of Knowledge predictions. One, the rural Missouri legislators will bend for St. Louis. Take $5 million in 12. They'll get nothing except screwed, and they'll be like, oh, thank you, St. Louis. It's sure nice of you to think of me when you're going to screw someone.
Yep.
And then I think Eigel, if he is county executive, will do a pretty good job. I will predict, I think Elam and Law both run. You
think so?
Which puts, if you're Bill, you're like, yeah, guys, don't let that dude talk you out of running. You'll be great. Whoever's the stronger, and I think Elam would poll stronger right now. He's ran in the county, well known, especially the St. Charles area. Law will have a financial advantage. It'll be interesting to see how whoever has the stroke there to settle that. I don't think Tom Dempsey probably wants to be involved in settling that. Seeing as what he does for a living now, it probably isn't his idea of a good time to be the kingmaker there, or the peacemaker. Elman probably is the one that might have that. Is it possible that you could see Elman 180 and run again?
Yeah, I think that'd be possible. If Law's still got the chance to get more money, you'd see a rehash of it all over again.
Well, I would say Elman drops out. Law drops out if Elman, and Elam would drop out if Elman ran. An Elman-Eigel matchup. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder, Now, that would be a heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting go-out. Okay, we've done this for an hour now. Kelton, thank you for the time. Thank you to United Fiber. Thank you to the Courtyard by Marriott. Great Northwest days tomorrow night. Tonight, reception. Co-ops, they do it right. The reception is obviously at the Courtyard. February 25th, Missouri Farm Bureau, Women Legislators Scholarship Fund. We're honoring the Chief Justice of the Missouri Supreme Court, Mary Russell. You're starting a show a week from today?
Yep.
And you're not going to tell me the guest?
Nope.
Well,
you'll just have to find out.
It's almost like it's my studio the way I'm asking. I don't know. Thank you guys very much. Sunday we'll have Senator Brad Hudson. We have the House Budget Chair Dirk Deaton. We'll definitely have Brad on. And we'll see you back here Wednesday, Kelton, with Holly Raider.
Let's do it.
Sweet. See you then.